Welcome to Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
And this week, well, in tarnation, he's telling us a tall tale. Let's all take off our hats to the code. Don't spit in front of women or children.
Tall Tale from 1995.
I can draw faster, shoot straighter, ride harder, and drink longer than any man alive. I ride cyclones and I wrestle.
Got a name, don't you?
I'm getting to that.
Pecos Bill, the greatest cowboy the West had ever known. John Henry, he had iron in his soul and steel in his hands. Paul Bunyan, he could level a forest with a single swing of his mighty axe. They were the three greatest heroes the world had ever seen.
You gutless, brainless, heartless, sidewinder!
In a time when heroes were hard to find.
There's only one law. Winner take all.
Somebody's got to do something.
Find the brat.
Walt Disney Pictures presents the story of a boy who needed a miracle.
I'm Pecos Bill!
And three legends who needed the work.
Timber. I want that kid. We can beat this thing. You can't get away from me!
Now they're finding something to believe in.
Hang on now!
Themselves.
That kid's blocking the tracks. Don't lose the dream, Daniel.
You know we're gonna win in the end.
Don't listen to him.
We're coming.
Not through our land!
This is one of the worst movies we've ever watched.
This is so boring and so confusing at the same time.
I don't think it was confusing. It was just bad. It's just bad.
Well,
Correct, sir.
okay, so I'm going to give like a 30-second plot synopsis here.
Go ahead.
So there's a young man,
Whining, simpering little bitch.
Daniel Hackett. He lives in the Old West on a farm. He hates the farm. He hates everything. Fuck this. I want to go get a horseless carriage because they're cool.
And some light bulbs.
He gets upset. The big bad oil tycoon comes to town. His dad gives him the deed to the farm. He falls asleep on a boat and has a mystical adventure that you don't realize is mystical with...
Oh.
I didn't know it was fake until... I didn't know he was still asleep on the boat. I was confused.
Yeah, he just woke up in the middle of the desert.
Well, that's why I was confused. I was like, how'd he get in the desert? I don't know. I guess they'll explain it to us later. And he's with Pecos Bill, some guy named John Henry, Paul Bunyan, and then Calamity Jane shows up. Anyways, they have some adventures. He goes back, and all of the townspeople that all of a sudden are like, no, we don't need to sell. This guy is trying to run you over with a train. We're going to push him back. And then the guy just gives up and dies in the thing. And then, yay, I love you, Dad. And that's the movie in a quick nutshell.
I think we're done here now. No. That's good enough for me.
So, okay, but serious question. If it was all fake and made up, how was he riding the ghost horse at the end of the movie?
Well, that was obviously even stupider than anything else that's happened in the movie.
So long, boy.
Well, hop on.
Me alone on Widowmaker?
Listen, you don't have a mind to. Okay, up we go.
So long, Daniel! Take good care of Widowmaker!
Take this dog, go!
Don't worry about it! You can handle things from here!
It just doesn't
He
make
got
it...
the gun, the saddle, the tack, the whole 9 yards.
How is that real if it's supposed to be...
It's obviously not. Like, it's obviously not. Obviously, he's just running back behind his dad.
Like, how did he stop the train? If John Henry wasn't really there... how did he stop the train? That's why I'm saying it's confusing. It blurs the lines between fantasy and reality, and like not in a good way. It doesn't make sense.
It's just not good.
This is a bad movie. It's very bad. Well, so let me read the synopsis, even though I read you my synopsis.
It's like Wild Wild West meets I don't know, some kind of terrible children's show.
Like the one with Elijah Wood, the Huckleberry Finn one.
This is worse than that.
Well, it's way worse than that. But that's not the Wild Wild West component.
Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West.
So the official synopsis of Tall Tale from 1995. Western action and adventure. You can watch this on Disney+.
Oh, you know what it is? It's like Wild Wild West meets A Sorcerer's Apprentice, really, actually.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not
Except
bad.
For this kid is an even bigger pussy, if it's possible.
I can't lift this nail thing for you, John Henry. I can't do it. Yeah.
Go ahead and read the synopsis.
Patrick Swayze stars as gunslinging, tornado-riding cowboy legend Pecos Bill in Disney's rousing Western adventure. Summoned by the imagination of a young boy, Pecos sets out to help the lad save the family farm from a greedy land grabber. Teaming with two other larger-than-life heroes, a mighty lumberjack and a hulking railroad worker, they embark on an incredible journey where danger and surprises await at every turn.
Danger! But there was no real danger!
There wasn't any interactions with wild animals of any kind. I was hoping for a bear scene, a wolf scene.
They did this... It's a lot like, also, the movie we just watched, the one with Spacey, where everything just goes in an exact straight line. There's no smelling the roses, no pass and go.
There's no well scene like the last movie we
$200.
watched. It's just so boring.
It's all just exact straight line plot.
But it's even
plowing right along.
There's not even
with just like a small pause of like, here's Calamity Jane.
Yeah. Why wasn't
she? Why? No reason.
She didn't. I thought she was going to go with him. That was the whole thing.
It would have made sense.
They're meeting these characters.
It would have made sense.
Oh no, she's just going to stay behind. The Old West is no place for a woman. Like handsome Calamity Jane.
Or she may have like helped him out or something when like let him out of jail and been like, oh, I get it now. I'll help you.
But no. Ugh. And I'm just really disappointed because our director... I was excited to watch this.
I'm disgusted. I'm not even...
Jeremiah Check Christmas Vacation and Benny and June.
Christmas Vacation.
Two movies that I absolutely love.
I don't know about Benny and June, but I think I watched it once.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
Does that have Johnny Depp and some bride?
And Mary Stuart Masterson.
Oh yeah, Mary Stuart. Yeah, that's perfect for the 90s.
It has Mr. Paul Bunyan as like...
Paul Bunyan is in every fucking thing.
And the next part was bigger and bigger, and of course now you're starring in films with Warren Beatty and all this kind of... Do you get that a lot? Do people come up to you and I know you?
It's anything from, loved your last movie to, were in my macrame class. Everything in between.
Yeah.
That guy is literally in everything you've ever seen. You're like, oh yeah, it's that fucking guy from that movie or that TV show.
Oliver Platt is the definition of that guy in that thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. He is 100%. And he's the low key thing about him is that he always just plays the kind of flat line.
He plays
nothing of a character all the time.
Hey, he rocked it in Lake Placid with Jane Fonda, or not Jane Fonda, with Bridget Fonda.
Wow.
They were great.
Wow. Fireworks with Bridget Fonda. Shit.
And I think Bill Pullman was in that too.
And really, there's, other than Patrick Swayze himself, Mr. Point Break.
I'm so disappointed.
The Bodhisattva himself.
Well, now what in tarnation are you going to do about it?
No. Just no. And this is like right after he was the fucking Bodhisattva.
Yeah, this was filmed a year after that movie came out.
Ugh, it just makes me sick.
It doesn't make any sense.
It really doesn't.
Like, what are you doing? You're Johnny Castle Dirty Dancing. You can do anything. What are you doing? And he chose to do this. It's just... That's why...
And grow that funky ass mustache. That has to be fake, right?
It's 100% fake.
I mean, he has to have a gap in his mustache somewhere.
It's so confusing because I was, researching ahead of time a little bit, and I was so like, oh yeah, Patrick Swayze, oh man, this guy directed Christmas Vacation. Oh, this is going to be great. This is going to be charming. This is going to be fun. Nope. Oh, Catherine O'Hara makes a small cameo, even though the billing...
Actually, that might have been the best part of the movie. Was just her in it.
That was the best part of the movie. Because it was... The parts where they're shooting everything, I feel as though they're trying to make it kind of cheesy.
I guess, but it didn't even really work.
No, but it would have worked if they would have leaned into that, this isn't a real thing, but they made it try to seem like it was real. That's why I didn't get the joke.
And they made the kid so overly serious.
Yeah, Mr. What's his name?
Nick Stahl.
Nick Stahl.
My pa used to tell me stories about Paul Bunyan. He said that Paul Bunyan was a giant of a man. A man who could tame a continent, a man who could look danger in the eyes and laugh in its face.
Well, you did get those parts right.
Well, not from where I'm sitting. Seems to me you're just hiding out feeling sorry for yourself.
He actually has been in a lot of stuff.
He's still in a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Terminator 3, something called Man Without a Face that I've just heard of. He's in the Sin City movies. You've seen him around probably, but he's just...
He's another that guy in that thing. He's not like a real big
He's
actor.
not a real person.
Not a real man.
And then his dad, Stephen Lang, he was the villain in all the Avatar movie. So that's why I was so just off put. I was like, you're supposed to be the bad guy in the Avatar, the Blue People Avatar movie, not the cartoon, obviously.
I didn't even know there was... Oh, you mean...
I mean James Cameron Avatar.
Yeah, but nobody's going to confuse that for...
I was just clarifying.
Avatar, Nope. Why am I blanking on what Avatar's...
Last Airbender.
The Last Airbender, yeah. I thought it was funny that, what's his name, was the co-bad guy who was barely ever on screen, but now I can't remember his name.
Jared Harris?
No.
William H. Macy.
Yeah, William H. Macy.
He had the smallest cameo, and it was so strange.
He was the co-bad guy, which it would have been, they could have really used his help. But this movie didn't make any U-turn, didn't even really have any bumps. It was like a smooth log, like a telephone pole.
It was a telephone pole that didn't make any connections to anything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wasn't...
Not impressed.
Not impressed with this movie at all. Did you get any fun facts from this unimpressive flick? Originally, Gary Sinise was cast to play the dad, but he left to go play Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump.
Lieutenant Dan! We saved you from this crappy movie.
Can you imagine?
Lieutenant Dan.
What if he wasn't Lieutenant Dan?
If he would have just been like, no, I'm already signed up to play this terrible role in this stupid movie.
I gotta be this dad who's barely in the movie.
Make somebody else Lieutenant Dan.
There is no other Lieutenant Dan. It's not... You didn't get any fun facts at all?
No, I'm sure you did, but...
Well, the only other one I'll say is that, it was freezing cold in the canyon where they filmed that little scene where they're in Antelope, or what I think is supposed to be Antelope Canyon.
What?
When they're in the canyon and they're lighting the fire...
Well, shouldn't it be cold? It was nighttime in the desert.
I know, but it was freezing cold when they were filming it. Freezing cold.
Freezing in here, Mr. Bigglesworth. I mean, I think you've already discussed most of the movie and how it goes.
Well, the only thing that I will say...
Because there's nothing good to talk about. This is one of those movies, it's like, what do you want me to say?
I mean...
What do you want me to talk about? Okay... The kid whines and bitches a little 3-year-old girl? Okay.
I will say, the reason the Calamity Jane scene was the best scene is there was, a dog, a dancing chihuahua.
Oh, dancing chihuahua was pretty great, yeah.
And Catherine O'Hara is just great. And it's just unfortunate that she was just in the one scene. Yeah, didn't make any sense. The other thing I wanted to... So, I didn't really... When he's still in the dream sequence, and he's And the guy, Mr. Villain guy, is all,
let's be honest, this whole thing is a dream sequence.
Give me the deed. And they're all, like, sitting there, oh, don't do it. What is his name again? What is the kid's name?
Daniel.
Don't do it, Daniel. And then he gives them the deed, and they start saying their powers or whatever, and I'm like, what is this, Captain Planet? Like,
yeah, but the fucking kid gives up instantly.
He just gives it to him, and I'm
He's like, here you go.
What are you doing?
Yeah, why were you running in the first place? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? If you were gonna pussy out the second you've met any resistance.
I don't understand why he ran into the boat in the first place.
Oh, he ran into the boat to cry. Because he's a boy, he's not allowed to cry.
It's just ridiculous. The end scene where they're fighting and Pecos Bill comes out, he's like, oh, and they're all like, oh, my trigger finger, oh, he shot my trigger finger. So the townspeople, none of this happens? Like, that's what doesn't make any sense about this movie.
Well, and when he goes home also, his paw, just because he got shot and is going to survive, he just fucking rolls over. He's like, I'm not going to die for some piece of land. Well, that's not what you said last night, bitch.
Yeah, he was at the town meeting where all the oil tycoon guys, like, I'm going to give you guys $50 a fucking acre, which I guess back then was a lot of money. And he's like, nope, I'm not doing it. I want to be buried on this land. He's like holding his ground to the point where he gets shot. Which, how terrible are those guys if a shot he didn't even die?
Well, I think bullets and stuff back then were very unreliable and a lot slower than modern bullets. Like,
or were they not trying to kill him? Was that intentional?
They shot him in the chest. They were trying to kill him.
Okay, fair enough. And then, yeah, he comes back and he's just like, okay, yeah, I'm giving up now. No, Paul, you can't. I'm going to go stop a train with my magical imaginary friends.
Dan stand. And I like how everybody's worried about the train running him over, but like...
They don't do anything.
Well, you couldn't do anything, but...
He could just ride underneath it.
Or he could just lay there and it would go over him and nothing would happen.
Right, that's what I mean.
That's how a train works. There's no, like, low-hanging scraper to get anything that's laying underneath the track off.
It's not like the fucking log...
just lay down.
The log scene... where his foot gets stuck in the thing and all he had to do was turn his foot to get his foot out.
God.
And the log's gonna get him. It's not like there's a...
Oh, help me. I'm gonna get sawed in half.
And then...
Help, I can't get my foot out. And then it gets shot. He shoots the stupid saw blade until it stops.
Well, no, the guy stopped it.
Okay. One of the greatest actors of all time, Burgess Meredith, is in this fucking movie.
Is that who the old guy is?
Yeah, he's the guy from Grumpy Old Men. He's the dad from Grumpy Old Men.
Okay, I don't know.
He was the Penguin in the original Batman with Adam West.
Okay, I see.
He's in Rocky. He's Rocky's trainer. He's the fucking best.
You listing a bunch of movies that I haven't seen.
I don't care.
So
I don't care.
How am I gonna...
You know what? Everybody who's listening knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh, excuse me. But yeah, Pecos Bill's solution... Oh yeah, I'm just gonna pull this out and shoot it. And then, no, the old guy stopped it. Even though it didn't explicitly say that. That's what happened.
It is what happened. Yeah. You're right.
But no, this movie is,
hot, flaming garbage.
Not great.
Fire.
So, if you want to watch it
I don't recommend it.
I don't recommend it either. I think it is a horrible movie, but...
And I'll start off the awards just saying this. It's not suitable for anybody over 5. If you have a boy who's under 5, he'll probably like this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's, like, dumb and very visual.
This is the movie that if you're a young man, you probably watch this a lot as a kid.
I wouldn't go for a lot.
Well, but it could be a movie that you have a lot of nostalgia for, and then you're like, oh yeah, guys, Tall Tale, it's fucking great. And then you show it to, like, your roommate, and you're embarrassed because it's not great.
See, once again, this is where I disagree because of the over 5 thing. If you would have watched this, like, you would have watched it when you were a little kid, and then you watched it at 7, you would have been like, oh, this stinks. Never mind, I was kidding. You'd never even bring it up when you're older.
Yeah.
You're not going to watch this at an age where you can even remember it.
It's just not good. There's just much better Western-type movies.
What's your first award?
Close Your Eyes, and it's... Okay, so here's the thing. I was very distracted. The villain, we didn't even talk about... So his name is Scott Glenn. If you close your eyes... Swear to God, he sounds like Billy Bob Thornton.
Maybe.
No, it's... For those listening, go back and listen to it.
Well, you'll probably put a clip in, but
Scott Glenn sounds just like Billy Bob Thornton.
Boy, Be reasonable. You know we're gonna win in the end. Stop. You stop. All right. I admit it. You got me over a barrel. My back's to the wall. Name your price.
I kept being like, God, that sounds like somebody. Oh, it sounds like Billy Bob. Oh, it sounds like Billy Bob.
Sure do like them French fried potatoes.
Well, maybe not. What is it?
Sling Blade.
Sling Blade. Billy Bob. Maybe more like Billy Bob in any other movie.
Bad Santa Billy Bob.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. What you got?
Edwin Can't Save Your Movie. For Patrick Swayze or Burgess Meredith.
Or William H. Macy.
Yeah, or William H. Macy.
Yeah, no, it's... If you have...
Not gonna be able to do it.
If you have Patrick Swayze as basically your second lead...
He's the lead.
Well, the kid's the lead,
no,
really.
the kid is the fucking parasite.
It's just, the material is bad, because it's Patrick Swayze. I have a PETA award for that Blue Ox, because you know that paint is toxic. There's no way in 1995 or 1993 when this was filmed, there's no way that that ox is surviving that blue paint.
Fair enough.
It looked completely ridiculous.
It did look really bad. God.
Like, I've seen many iterations of Paul Bunyan type things with Babe the Blue Ox, and that was just a horrible depiction of Paul Bunyan. He's all like, oh, I'm just hiding, and it's like, that's not...
And he's like small and short, like, what the hell?
Well, they're saying he didn't even have a big personality. That's what was so annoying, is you needed a big guy with a big personality. Paul Bunyan is supposed to be, like, hardy hard.
He still should have been a big dude, though. Like, at least, they should have got a professional wrestler to play Paul Bunyan.
That would have been pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, was The Rock was Paul Bunyan, or is this pre The Rock?
A little early for The Rock.
Hulk Hogan?
No, not Hulk Hogan.
I don't know who was popular in the early 90s for wrestlers. Was Andre the Giant still alive?
No, I think that was like right at his tail end of health. And, yeah, but that would have been a perfect, like...
They need somebody like that. Yeah. Or like a football player or something.
Diesel, something.
Something like that, because it was just not right. Not right.
It's not right, man. It's not right. So my third award is the Lumpy Award for Daniel.
For the main character. You just have a... So which is worse? Daniel in this movie or the Jim Hawkins in Muppet Treasure Island? That kid.
No, this is way worse.
This is worse than the kid from Muppet Treasure Island. Okay, because you really hated that kid.
Yeah, well, I really fucking hate this kid. He's such a bitch at every turn of this movie. All he does is whine, whinge, and bitch.
Well, it's just not believe it's...
I can't help you! Oh, I can't climb this rope ladder! Oh, this piece of steel! I'm a farm boy, but oh my god, it's too much for me!
Well, that's what
I'm just giving up! Why don't we just give up, you guys? Wait, no, something else happened? Let's just give up. Let's just roll over and show them our butts.
Well, that's what didn't make sense, because he is a farm boy in 1905 in the West. You would be a little tougher than that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Okay, I have... Oh, you don't know him? Okay, maybe I just don't know American legends, but who the fuck is John Henry?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no fucking idea who John Henry is, and they roll up on this guy with this... He's hitting the metal thing. Like, you're supposed to know who this guy is. And
but you probably do. He's probably the same thing as the others, but maybe more of a southern.
Oh, maybe because
Northerners.
Fill me in because I had no idea who John Henry is. Yeah. No idea.
Fair enough. My last one is the Caspian Bitch Award, obviously for Daniel. One more time.
Daniel taking it home for the win.
Yeah.
My last one is, haha, just kidding, it was all a dream.
Oh, well, yeah.
I didn't know that it was supposed to be all a dream. I didn't, because it just didn't make any sense.
Well, when you make a movie just a dream, it can make it real easy to not make it make any sense.
But that's why I just...
Well, and they clearly either didn't shoot most of what they needed and cut this to the bone.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just didn't shoot a lot of stuff that they needed to.
I think it just wasn't written. Because...
And it might have been poorly... It was definitely poorly written. Don't get me wrong, but... It was just missing any kind of substance, any kind of
which
anything.
We actually completely forgot to talk about the writers, but Robert Rodat and Steve Bloom. Steve Bloom wrote James and the Giant Peach, another one of your favorite movies. But that's from a book, so it doesn't even count. But the main...
Well, this is all kind of book-based, too, though.
Yeah.
And he ruined an excellent book in James and the Giant Peach, so...
But I don't know what Robert Rodat was doing. He wrote Saving Private Ryan. Like,
Well, he wrote on Saving Private Ryan. I'm not going to say he wrote it.
Yeah. So, surprises? Disappointments? Yeah, I was just really... When Calamity Jane showed up, I was just really surprised she wasn't in the rest of the movie.
This is a bad movie that I wouldn't even bother to remake. Like, this is...
No. It's a bad idea.
It is a very bad idea. You're 100% right. It's not just a bad written movie. It's a bad idea.
Because it's so tropey. Oh, it's the Old West. Oh, the big oil tycoon is going to come and take your land.
Oh, and here are these American folk heroes that are going to help. Okay.
It's just... Fievel Goes West was a better American West movie than this. Like, it's
Fievel Goes West is 100 times
But that's what I mean. And that's a freaking sequel animated straight-to-video movie. It just is like, come on. What are you doing?
Oh my god. What the kid that had a very bad day is a better American story than this.
Alexander and the terrible, no good, horrible, very bad day or whatever. That movie actually was pretty good, though. It wasn't that bad.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Recess School's Out is a better story than this.
Yes. Most of the movies we have watched are better stories than this.
Yeah. And so, getting to that, what'd you get for a budget for this movie?
No surprise on the outcome of this. $32 million. And they only made $11 million on this movie.
I can't believe they made $11 million.
That is just... That's a tall tale if I've ever heard.
Man, Patrick Swayze after this, I don't even know. But he didn't make a lot of movies after this. So
No.
maybe...
Well, because I don't exactly know when he started getting sick, but...
I don't think that was till the 2000s, right?
Yeah, probably not. He did some movies after this.
Yeah, but his career really fell off, and this must have hurt him pretty bad.
I'm sure that it did.
Wounded. So, what do you think the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie is? This is
It can't be anything higher than a 20%.
Well, with critics, it's 48%. And with the people, it's 52%. What the fuck?
They're just really... Their hearts are warmed by the end of... I love you, Pa. I love you too, son. And then him riding the ghost horse.
Ghost horse. That's what I'm saying. The kid was just running back. He wasn't on no goddamn ghost horse.
And then the dad, sees him with these historical figures and takes off his hat. Like, this is just normal. He's not like, whoa, there's a fucking blue ox in my field. Like, it just...
Yeah, so what is your rating for this movie?
It was just really bad. So, I gave it an 18%.
Wow.
Or 1.8 out of 10 historical figure guardian angels.
Guardian angels. Well, I gave it an 11. I really hated it. It was really boring on top of everything else.
Yeah.
That we said, and it just... What a waste of my fucking time. And breath.
Hopefully we get something better next week. None of this frickin' Hear My Song...
Hear My Song was good.
Hear My Song was fine, but...
It was a lot fucking better than this.
It was a lot fucking better
movie.
than this. But this fucking Valiant... That was the most recent bad movie we watched, I think, was Valiant. Wasn't it?
What was that?
The Pigeon animated war movie with Ewan McGregor.
Fuck, man. I forgot that even existed. Good God, that was bad.
Yep. Was
so bad that I forgot. I literally forgot we watched it, did a podcast. I don't even know how long it's been, but I would have never even admitted that movie existed.
Is it worse than Tall Tale?
No.
So if you had to watch Valiant again over Tall Tale, you'd watch Valiant?
Absolutely. Every time.
I wouldn't.
Well, you just want to watch Patrick Swayze.
I always want to watch Patrick, but he didn't even take his shirt off in this movie. It's like, God, fuck. Like, the other guy took his shirt off with his overalls.
Which guy?
The John Henry guy.
His shirt was always off.
I know.
There was no
That's
shirt
what I
for
mean.
him. Okay. Well, now it's time for Kat's favorite part of the podcast. This time we get number 145.
Whoa.
Staying alive. Staying alive.
It's gotta be a Disney movie, right?
145. It is not a Disney movie.
What?
It is not.
What year?
1984.
11 years before Tall Tale.
Yeah, let's just make that our...
That's our new metric. How many years before or after Tall Tale?
Yeah. Any guesses?
Do you know what it is?
I do know what it is.
What?
Yeah.
I
haven't seen it, though.
Can you give me a genre?
I honestly don't really know what the genre is.
Can you give me a rhymes with?
It's a Touchstone movie.
Okay, I don't know. What is it?
From 1984 is Splash.
Oh, I love this movie.
I've always wanted to see it. I don't know exactly what it is, but...
I love this movie.
Isn't this the first movie that Ron Howard directed or something like that? Yeah.
I love this movie.
All right. Well, there you go.
And I haven't watched it for a really long time. I'm excited. So you don't know anything about it?
I don't think so. I might. I don't know. Isn't it? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
You're not even going to guess?
It has Tom Hanks in it.
It does have Tom Hanks in it.
Yeah, that's all I know.
Okay, well, there you go. 80s Tom Hanks.
Early 80s Tom Hanks.
Early 80s Tom Hanks, yeah.
Yeah, before he was anything. So there you go. So next week's Splash, guys. In the meantime, if you'd like to subscribe, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah.
Leave us a review. It's a little thing, but it does help out a lot. And check us out on the various platforms, YouTube, your podcast platform, Facebook, Instagram, all the good stuff.
Woohoo. In the meantime, this has been Disney Odd Pod.
I'm Kat.
I'm Dee.
Bye.
Blankie.
Your wool blankie?
My wool blankie.
I feel like a wool blanket is like, it's too like wool blanket. It's like, you can't call it a blankie.
But it's like warm and manly and good.
That's what I mean. It's a blanket, not a blankie.
Wool blanket.
Like, you don't give a baby a wool blanket.
Well, you do if it's a man. You want him to be iron tough.
What are you doing over there?
Waiting for you.
You already pulled up all your stuff and everything? Got your headphones on? And
I use this website a lot. I feel like it should know that I'm human. So I use it at work a lot, too. What do you want your combo to be? I don't know. Okay, how about this?
It's always amazing to me how many places, like, when you leave a workplace, they, like, don't change passwords, don't change codes. How many places I could access. Yeah. Oh, the places I could go. I choose
places you could
not
go.
to because I follow the rules.